Saint James, the Apostle. 1st century apostle chosen by Jesus. Peter, James, and John are probably the most well-known of the 12. After the resurrection and ascension and especially the death of Saint Stephen, the first martyr of the Church, the apostles left Jerusalem to evangelize or convert all they met. We know so little about 9 of the apostles, but Peter, James and John were members of the inner circle. We know a lot more about them and their interaction with Jesus. James and his brother John, the author of the 4th Gospel, were fishermen who Jesus called to follow him, and they left their nets immediately and followed him. It was James and John that accompanied Jesus to the home of Jairus when his servant was raised from the dead. They accompanied Jesus to Mount Tabor for the Transfiguration. They were with Jesus at the Garden of Gethsemane, a short while before Judas betrayed him, which caused his arrest. Like Peter, you always knew how James felt about things. When the Samaritans didn't want Jesus to stay in a village, it was James and John who wanted Jesus to rain fire down upon them. As a result, Jesus nicknamed James and John the sons of thunder. He even wanted to sit at the right hand of Jesus in heaven. In the Acts of the Apostles, Luke tells us of the conflict James had with King Herod, which led to his death by the sword. James had received the crown of martyrdom. Matthew 16 verse 25, "For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it." Because of James and the men and women who followed him, the Church has continued to grow. The Mass and the sacraments have been and will continue to be performed. Just think of the amazing courage you needed to be a believer in the 1st century.